Hey, good morning. Today is another one of our first fives. And today, as we begin this day, we're in this new series on Sunday mornings called Spring Training. And this week we talked about fasting. And so this morning, I'm just going to talk about fasting a little bit too. So you see, it's one of those weird things that people go, oh, well, I don't know if I can do that. And the truth is, pretty much all of us probably can. There's some health issues that may keep us from that. But the point of fasting is our heart. And so if you go, well, I can't not eat food because of this health issue, there are other things that we can abstain from. Maybe social media, even if you're going to miss one of these first fives, that's okay. But what we begin to see is there's something about when we remove things from our life that the heart behind it matters so much. In fact, I want to read these words from Isaiah chapter 58 and listen really to the heart of what Isaiah writes. And I want us to think about these words and then also bear with me because it starts a little slow and then it picks up as it goes. Shout out, do not hold back. Lift up your voice like a trumpet. Announce to my people their rebellion, to the house of Jacob their sins. Yet day after day they seek me and delight to know my ways, as if they were a nation that practiced righteousness and did not forsake the ordinance of their God. They ask of me righteous judgments. They delight to draw near to God. Why do we fast, but you do not see? Why humble ourselves, but you do not notice? Look, you serve your own interest on your fast day and oppress all your workers. Look, you fast only to quarrel and to fight and to strike with a wicked fist. Such fasting as you do today will not make your voice heard on high. Is such the fast that I choose, a day to humble oneself? Is it to bow down the head like a bulrush and to lie in sackcloth and ashes? Will you call this a fast, a day acceptable to the Lord? Is not this the fast that I choose? Listen to this. These words are so powerful. To loose the bonds of injustice, to undo the thongs of the yoke, to let the oppressed go free, and to break every yoke. Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and bring the homeless poor into your house? When you see the naked, to cover them, and not to hide yourself from your own kin? Then your light shall break forth like dawn, and your healing shall spring up quickly. See, like what I love about this passage of scripture is this not what I have longed for, to break the bonds of injustice, to let the oppressed go free, to welcome those who find themselves on the margins of life. See, when I read these words in Isaiah, what Isaiah wants us to know is when we fast to God, it's not just so we can become holy and be pious, and those are good things to be a holy person and to seek after God's holiness because he invites us to that. But it's John Wesley who said that there's no holiness except social holiness. As if we don't see the call to live a life in which we break the bonds of injustice, we seek to help the oppressed. If we don't live that way, then our fasting is really a waste of our time. And so these spiritual practices, these spiritual disciplines, even these first fives, are truly a waste if it doesn't change how we begin to live. And so my invitation for you today is this: let's live in such a way that by our life we break the bonds of injustice, that we help set the oppressed free, that we bring hope to places that seem so hopeless. You and I are invited to do that, because what Isaiah is trying to say here is when we fast and it's just about oneself, but yet we live totally like it doesn't matter. We think the fast is just internal and doesn't impact our life. God doesn't care about that. He wants us to fast, sure, but he invites us to fast so that it ultimately changes us because of what his Spirit does with us. And so may you find that this morning begins with resting in the presence of God, resting in his love, knowing that you are uniquely created. But not only are you uniquely created, but so is everybody else. And so you and I are invited to break the bonds of injustice to set the oppressed free. That's what fasting may begin to do in our hearts, because then we might begin to see the world as God sees the world. May your day be filled with grace, peace, and love.